It seems actually to be fine. It seems to be fine, so I'm actually gonna do... There you go. And sorry, but I'm just gonna have to... That's kind of cute. But no, I am gonna do a full screen projection, but I am gonna have the chat there. My screen turned off again. So, horrible story. Alright, so... Here it starts again. Why? Why is it 5 o'clock? Like, I'm not joking. My body somehow can go into this strange occurrence of actually knowing what fucking time it is. I don't know how or why. It's like, now it's 5 o'clock. Time to start yawning. Like, eh? It's not only that. When I actually was going to do the collab, I set a timer for a time for 2 in the morning because the collab was at 3 and sometimes my computer does take a time to actually start up. I woke up 1 minute before the timer. What is happening with my... I really have to buy a new screen someday. Like, I don't... this is such an old screen. I'm pretty certain it is, like, how much electricity this need. And it is more or less, if something happens somewhere else, it's literally just gonna turn itself off for a moment. I don't know why, but I am pretty certain that is why. Because it did that at home. And I know at home that our circuits are, like... I don't know, fucking jigsaw puzzle. But yes, this guy was talking about what happened in that house before. Oh, hold on. It's like it just had to go out and then it's just fine or something. So that's why it's like he believes he's cursed. Okay, but okay, I'm gonna try and remember just doing voices here. How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring to my back, watching me. You think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you? No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. That's a way of saying it. Nah, my mind doesn't know how to do tricks. I actually used to use some do magic tricks when I was younger. I wasn't really good at it, but it was fun just doing it sometime. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me. Well, that's really horrible. And now I come to think of it. It happened again last night too. The very same night that Shakespeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. Might I be wrong that the spirits are not spirits, but it's like the gas leaking out somewhere, and that's causing him to more or less just suffocate? You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. I know it. That's why I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. And I will be back in Japan. I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history. Please do not talk about that while he is here. He's already a wreck. But it literally says that sometimes it feels like the ghosts are suffocating him. Because I know, like, if you have like the fire on a gas stove and stuff, the gas isn't really gonna leak anywhere. It's just gonna be burnt up and become a little flame and then nothing. But if you let it all be on, that means it's just gonna fill the place. So I do wonder if that has something to do with the suffocation. I am more or less tempted to sing, but I sing that part, but to be honest, I kind of forgot how the fuck it went. You mean Miss Garrideb? Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true for... I, for one, wouldn't go near that place. Ah, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movement. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He doesn't have an unusual keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. It must be because that must be why. It's like, it's not because he is like spying on people, but because of the whole keen thing. Hold on, I'm just gonna try and do something here. I want to see her face, but I can't because of the chat. There we go. Now I can really see that. It's more than just her forehead covered. So it must be like something with the gas happened back in the days, and it's literally just sitting there like, when the flame is low, that means that the gas is just leaking out like something. Like me at like 6 in the morning. Nah, I'm just joking, but that was a good one. I believe, at least. Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Miss Natsume. Please, forget I said anything. But yeah, it's absolutely... it must be that it has been leaking, and that's why it has such a keen interest. Like, okay, it's flickering. Okay, it's not flickering any longer, which means someone is home. But also, the gas isn't leaking the hell out of the place. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important is that Mr. Shampspeare isn't, in fact, dead at all. Once he's come around, he'll be able to tell us what happened. We'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. I do hope you're right. Inspector Gregson. I wouldn't help me overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news. Oh? Which you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right then. Well, in that case, the good news is, it is. Sorry, but just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Then why did you ask me to? Ask me my preference. As might you have heard, the victim, Mr. Shampspeare, was just unconscious. Is to come around now. Yes, we saw it happen, and in all its terrifying glory. He'll still be treated by the doctor, but we managed to get a written statement from him already. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Miss Natsume? Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber cell. Sorry, no, that's not on the card. What? Why even not, Inspector? Mr. Shampspeare has implicated that someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone? Oh dear. You don't mean it. I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He pointed a finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Last time someone pointed a finger in this game, it was literally by the side and not directly on. But he was not even close, so yeah. By sweet poison did he seek to end my life. As wicked Kaitif Soseki Natsume. So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. Okay. I do wonder what sort of foul play is going on here. Because that's the thing. He has soap outside his window. and I don't know why. He had like a half-cut soap, one on the floor and one on the table. And now he's not dead, but pointing out this guy. I feel like there is something going on. Whether his room was haunted or not, he was just terribly unlucky. I knew I had no choice. The following day I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. Yeah, but there is some sort of foul play, I can tell you that. There is something going on. Just don't know what, really. Because that's the thing, this guy is an actor. Even though people say he's rather a shit actor. But he's an actor nonetheless. So the question is he just acting this up somehow and people believe him? I don't know what that means actually, I will do search it up later. This place always makes me feel strange. It seems to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all at the same time. Good. That's not really strange. I'm pretty certain it could happen to people. Also, I'm gonna do this. That's why. I'm gonna have my lucky owl here. I got this one Christmas. This is technically a Christmas decoration owl. But I fucking love it, so I have it. I have it here all the time. I'm gonna have it in my lap now. I'm just gonna be here with me. Well, I didn't think it'd be back here so soon. Yeah, that's absolutely. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Nutmeg. It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here. Yes, but someone managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this. Another morning, another murder. And here I am again in this hellhole. I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Hood, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh. I don't think he wants to hear the bad news. Mr. Nutmeg, good morning. Also, if you wonder why I call him Nutmeg, it's because people here in Britain cannot sometimes pronounce these people's names. So his name was like Saucy Nutmeg. So here we are again. And you're a smile, apparently. Yes, again. Did you see our assistant, Miss Miko Tobak, Esquires? What's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, did you? If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say. Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing wrong, Mr. Suto. Now, what is it? Well, it seems that the prosecution is in today's trial. Will be led by Lord Baron... of course it's Van Seeks. No. Ooh. It's always him. The so-called Reaper of the Baileys. The most legendary prosecutor in the land. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Suseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to pull through, but still. Perhaps Miss Natsuma's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter after all. Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Seeks is the prosecutor. Oh no. As even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end. One way or another. And we experienced it firsthand. Yeah, we know what happened to this guy now. Don't worry about that. We know what happened to this guy. If you don't, you have missed some of the gameplay from the first game. Because we know what happened. It's just that this is like a recollection because we believe that something that has to do with her moving back home has to do with this case. So we're like looking through some old memories. Do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes boring into my soul again? Cursed by the evil spirit and now by the Reaper. Well, if it is potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Zimmer. Welcome, student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I'm innocent, you have to believe me. You more than anyone now. Don't worry. I'll be a steadfast ally every step in the way in this battle, I promise. Yeah, like, he was good, like, he was caught 2 days ago. Of course we're gonna know he's innocent. Either that or he's so fucking unlucky he was captured by another crime that he didn't committed, even though he was supposed to do a crime the day after. Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it, Mr. Sholmes, I mean. That's probably for the best. If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Seeks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least that's my gut feeling. Miss Naruhodo. You're right. Yes, you're right. Oh, well said, Lockham student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Well said. I swear on this sword at my side, on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors, I'll show him what Japanese lawyers can do. I'll set you free with honor. For honor! I believe I more or less recognize many of these people here. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Oh, hi there, Mr. Vampire. Hold on. I have something in my throat. There we go. The prosecution is red. Yeah, I do love this little outfit, especially with the little mouse there. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned Nipponese friend, is not what the defense needs. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just in my imagination. It's really there. Lord Van Seeks is such an ominous versus Japanese for some reason. Yeah, I think we managed to get that told last time, that something happened to him. He had like an ally, apparently was a Japanese person, and for some reason, yeah, things got rather heated between them, which caused that problem. It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Baileys, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. Yet now he's back in court, in the courtroom. So for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper with his curious Distian for his Japanese is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. I have no idea, like, why. I don't wonder if I actually knew Kasama. That's why he's like Kasama. I don't know. And that's probably why he's pissed, because he couldn't get here. But it's not really his fault. Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty? Absolutely. I had a feeling this Larkin wasn't innocent before. I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. Oh well. Rather how you're wearing your hat, I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually. This one is new though. I haven't seen her before, but I have seen the other people here. I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick. I couldn't agree more. I need to make home 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here. I'll lead his flock to the righteous verdict. I'm just like, whenever I feel I have people just randomly here, I'm just doing some random bloody voice. I don't even know if they're gonna remember it, to be honest. The British jury system is very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hand of 6 members of the public, and that the judge only passes sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt. Yeah, but that's also a bit bad, because most of the time it's literally like, yeah, I knew he was an asshole. Like, okay, so they already have their thoughts set on what actually to choose. So, yeah. The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today. Except the lady, that's a new lady. Very well, let us commence the trial. Lord Van Six, your opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this eccentric Nipponese before has had a dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he uses freedom to perpetrate the most blood-curdling crime, namely that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. The detective responsible for investigating the scene, and the accused himself. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard Homicide Division. Oh, Soseki Natsume, from Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume. Yes, my lord, sir. I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken that you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as it were yesterday. The day before, in fact, my lord, but close enough. Believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court. Right you are, sir. The problem is all of those 3 has like more or less the same sort of style in like how I do my voice. So it's hella fucking difficult to have those 3 at the same goddamn time. The incident occurred at the Gary Deb household where the defendant had his lodgings. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shampspeare. The defendant has already admitted to his visit to the victim at that night in question. Mr. Shampspeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by the strychnine? What the fuck is that? It was found the following morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, and broke down the door. This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident. Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible. That was a nasty one, holy crap. Although the victim, Mrs. Shampspeare, lives to tell the tale. He very nearly didn't. The man halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. I have photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Well, do you see that by the gas thing? Just that side of my camera? What is that? Something is leaking. Oh, yes, a very chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. Yeah, we thought so at first as well. That's right. Everyone present believed that that's exactly what he was. Because no one checks the goddamn bloody pulse. Very well, I will accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes. As a defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture? They're haunted. They're haunted by evil spirits. Good gracious, what's haunted? My lodgings, there has been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside, and my neighbor was poisoned, and me, I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed, Miss Natsume? How? You know, that fateful night it happened when I returned from Mr. Shamsver's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed. But before long, the stove went out and somebody tried to kill me. Yeah, you heard that. It went out and someone tried to kill him. When that went out, it might have been not because... as I said before, they have these little payment things that will be on for like 1 hour per something. But that might be the thing. It didn't go out because it was done. It might have gone out before that, which caused the gas to actually leak. You must always extinguish all fires before retreating for the night, Miss Natsume. But it's cold. My runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of the events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Conclusive? Well, go on then. I just realized, like, Van Ziek's eye color is such a Blake color that it feels like his eyes are like milky in a way. Like, if you look at this guy, but after I like read this, fortunately the victim, Mr. Shamsver, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And has named the true culprit. Here, like, he has more or less just black eyes, so it's a bit difficult to see here. But let's, like, check the judge afterwards. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought into the victim's room by the accused. But you see, like, for example, this guy. He has blue eyes, but a more clear color, which causes him to be makes the eyes more clearer. But Van Ziek's eye color is like so, like, from blue and white. So it's like it feels like so milky. Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If the second son is innocent, then why has the victim accused him? Well, Miss Natsume, what do you have to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamsver's room as a gift. The public water outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water, especially to make it. And this is the result. I will never touch tea again, never. The public pump was frozen, you say? That's not the information we heard before. That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine with the witness at least once. Therefore, I call upon the witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection. None whatsoever, my lord. Good. Then you will give your account of events on the night in question for the court now. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literally debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. My tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Drag 9 takes some time to have effect on the body. People don't kneel over immediately after taking it. The victim could have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. I don't know. Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward. The problem also when I do voices, like, I more or less go back to how I believe they actually did sound like. Like, in the beginning first, it might just sound absolutely wrong or something. Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Miss Natsume claims his tea has been harmless, presumably, though the teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to. Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance. How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? My learned Nipponese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why? It's simple though. There was none left, not a drop. Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. I see. Thank you. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. What? You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. Yeah, that's kind of interesting though, because as he said, they need to have one drop, but they were absolutely insanely empty. But that's the thing, this is, and it is being, wait, hold on. Yeah, it's being right-handed, but this one isn't, and this is being left-handed. As you can see, there is a ring in here, which means there is a substance. This, sure thing. There is this ring. And this means whoever this was right-handed, whoever this was left-handed. But I can't let him beat me down, I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord, and you still have to stare, apparently. Wait, where is the mouse? The mouse disappeared. Or is it because he's just standing like this, so it's like disappeared behind his... whatever it is, coal or whatever?
Hold it!
Yeah, there it is. It must be the way he stands. Were you and your neighbor good friends then? No, we weren't friends. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. Were you enemies then? That's probably a better question. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit? Mr. Shamsphere fascinates himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together. Come now. No Nepalese could understand the finer points of English literature. And on the night in question, that was the topic of conversation as well, I presume. It was the day of my last trial when I was acquitted. I just arrived back at my lodgings when I ran into Sam Shamsphere outside on the street. That was around 6 o'clock. We exchanged one or two pleasantries, but it soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out of the time, though. So I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have an ill intentions? No, not one, not two, not any. Not at all. A simple no would have sufficed, I feel. Then tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room. Hold it! A literary debate about Shakespeare's works. I think you said, didn't you? Shakespeare? Ah, a very worthy topic of a conversation, I must say. Ah, yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? It was a profound, pleasurable parley. Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? I know I'm going to regret asking, but how did the debate go? Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with a reenactment. So we battled it out, in a Greco-Roman style, naturally. What? Mr. Shamsphere had all sorts of costumes in his room for such a contest. So when you say reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume? He as Romeo and I as Juliet, what the fuck? And after a vigorously wild tussle, I as Juliet came on top. A victory I'll cherish forever. I dare not imagine the terrible scene of carnage. The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea, and it took it to the victim. Correct. I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I'd heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see. It's true, there was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room. I want to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion? And do you have any basis for that statement, witness? Hold it! Wait, I'm gonna check something here, because I believe the other two or something. Oh, hold on. Jesus. Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there? That's correct. Anyone would drink the fellow. You think the fellow had never had a pot of tea before? He must have licked it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we would need to analyze it for poison. And you say that you return home to your room at 11 o'clock, Miss Natsume? Yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it. The landlord was able to verify that, as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. And how is the landlord able to attest to this? He
He said the lamps, I believe. The lamps! Inspector.
Yeah, we know about that. He explained it to us. I do love that everyone here is like confused, like, what the fuck does he mean by the lamps? But we're literally standing like, oh right, he did actually tell us that it was because of that. Yes, Mr. Garrett seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants. Nah, it's not, that's not the truth. I'm pretty certain the truth is that he's checking the gas. Not whether or not the tenants are back home. But he's checking so the gas isn't like screwing around.
There's only one key to Shamsworth's room, and I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room. The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. If you take out the poison, you die, everyone knows that. It's not that simple, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so he does this, but this is not the last one. Ah, okay. So I thought the last one was like the how much tea was left, which is not. So I'm gonna have to press these. I thought that one was more or less this, both of them together. How long does it take for symptoms to appear then?
According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after poison's consumed. Then the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation.
There's a 30 minutes interval between the poison is ingested and the onset symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure. That's for sure. Oh dear, death by poisoning again. It's always so awful.
30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be very strange for him to be in that position with the teacup and the soap and everything. It's like he just like cramped over while someone was leaving.
I have a medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells out really, the accused is the only person who could have done it. Very well, the court will add this report to the court record as evidence.
I also just gonna check something. I do this. This does work. I just kind of want to try and check. Yeah, it does. I'm just like checking if it is on the schedule thing. Oop. And on my Twitter, I mean. Also, I have to change that because that's like my old goddamn schedule. Technically, I haven't done this. I'm gonna actually do that. It's a bit late, but doesn't really matter. I don't know why, but I always forget to do it on the Discord thing. Also, probably because of the goddamn food coma. I ate lunch rather late, so it's like while I was cooking, my clock rang for it being 4 o'clock. So after I ate, it was like, I don't know, 20 minutes before stream. So I'm pretty certain it might have just been me being absolutely in food coma. Food coma, I mean. Food. Ugh. So yeah. Oh yes, I see it here. The late onset of symptoms. Great. Okay, let's examine that, because you say that, but what does this thing actually say? Cause of coma. Ingestion of a small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effect. 30 minutes after ingestion, a likelihood of substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. The poisoning incident occurred around 1 AM on 1st February, assessed from the victim's pocket watch that appears to have broken when he collapsed after the delayed onset of symptoms. No container for the poison was found at the scene. I feel that might be a bit interesting actually. The poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30 a.m. Did he ever mention when he came back? Because like, I am going to your room at like he got to him 9, and let's see, say like 9, 10, 11. That's like 11, but that means he must have been poisoned around 1 o'clock. Oh, and I'm pretty certain that there is something wrong there. The victim would have been... Oh, okay. The argument still... Oh, hold on. My eye. Fucking hell. I think you have to... Oh, go to a... Go and cut my hair again. Getting too long. The argument still stands, you say.
This is what Natsume has been saying, isn't it? A pair of them drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it, the victim wouldn't be able to lock the door after the accused left later on. Exactly. Me and my tea are innocent. Sweet and innocent, I tell you.
Ah.
I'm afraid that doesn't follow. You see, strychnine is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So, you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea.
Okay.
But no. We drank tea straight away. The battle over whatever room...
Yeah, we know about that.
That came after the tea.
Do you have any evidence of such as that statement?
In my great homeland, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying. Drink the tea while it's hot. I'm afraid there is no conclusive proof to support the defendant's assertion. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer his guilt in this matter.
Oh god. I don't know what the fuck is going on right now with all my burps and shit. Just gonna have some juice. If I could voice a personal opinion, Miss Naruto. Of course, go on. Miss Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes whatever he sets aside. It's really quite infuriating. I agree. Swindle finds an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying, I think. I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Miss Natsume guilty. As I see it, what we need to do is focus on the poison and the tea. "9 o'clock the evening. We had a heated debate of a nice hot drink, which after I went back to my room around 11. Ah, here we go. He did actually mention 11. Because if he went back 11, then this wouldn't stand. Because there's like fucking hours between. Miss Natsume, you say it was 11 p.m. that you left to return to your home, correct? To your home, to your room, whatever.
Yes.
And Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally?
Of course we can. There's no problem with that report, Sunshine.
Actually, I think there is a big problem. Because there is a chronological inconsistency between it and the defendant's testimony.
A chrono what? What are you on about?
According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time here. In other words, If there was poison in the tea Miss Natsuma brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendants left? Both of them had the same way of expression. What the hell? That's amazing.
Yeah, the defense argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Van Seeks?
Like nothing ever happened. Pray forgiveness, the discurrency, if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the content of my hallowed chalice dish luncheon. How could it happen, you ask? I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea. A phantom? Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report. Yes, at around 1:30. Mr. Tsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there is a well-known saying. Yeah, we have heard that one before. I don't know why he actually said that, because it wouldn't help him anyway. And in my country, there is an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may have been other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities.
What sort of possibilities, Counsel?
We don't have any yet. Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor. That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. From someone who has nothing to substantiate with. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition.
You're suggesting that this may have been suicide, Counsel.
Objection!
My Shakespeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted. But he could be lying.
Is something wrong, Lord Van Seeks?
I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray, forgive me for the discourtesy. Do you have ears like a fucking bat? Or are you a vampire? Carriage? What carriage? It would seem that a key player in this case has just arrived. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Who, sir, are you?
William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, twas I undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. And also his fucking clothing.
The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With this testimony, my learned friend futile resistance will be utterly crushed. You're calling him as a witness. Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself.
Why do I get the feeling that this guy takes roles and things so seriously that when he lost the battle with Romeo and Juliet, he literally wanted revenge for somehow? Happy am I, Shamswear, to regale thee with my talent of woe, my lord.
But, I still have my own tale to tell. Tale to tell. My own tale of worse woe. I can regale to the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English. That will do, Miss Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim.
Okay. Also, I'm gonna see if I can do this now, because I kinda want to. Because I see someone is here, so...
Hello there.
I just had to... yeah, welcome, humble viewer, to the stream I'm holding. Just gonna go back now. There we go. Did I? Oh, that's how it works. Okay, I really have to, like, fix that. Alright, so that's Mr. Shamspear. But who's that man beside him? Yeah, we saw him before on the streets. Hold on. What the hell is that? I'm pretty certain I know what that guy is called. It's so strange that we actually have another name for him. Because we have someone called Carl Alfred. Which, for those in English-speaking countries, is known as Popeye. Actually, kinda. Except that Popeye has like this butt chin. It literally has like this little gap in between. This guy kinda has like the same size of the nose and the same size of the chin. So if you like look up Popeye, it kind like the face is kinda half resembling, to be honest. Except for like Popeye is, I'm pretty certain he's bald. Either bald or he has 3 hairs or 2 hairs. This guy has, he has a lot of brown hair. Hold on, I have lost, there we go. I've lost the game. Yes, I feel sure we have caught a glimpse of that man before. State your name and occupation for the court, please. Witnesses. A writer of words so sweet they do scent the breeze. An inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribble, William Shakespeare. Also, for those who doesn't know about this game, there is a William Shakespeare as well. Shakespeare. What did I even say? But apparently this guy literally just has a name close to it. What a great bard to be recalled to life anew. Lo, what a magnificent man. Good fellows, I'm he who ponders such a miracle. William Shakespeare.
Oh, my name is Meterman. Adron B. Meterman.
I'm pretty certain this is a pun. Because he's called Meterman, so I'm pretty certain he checks the gas meters. But I'm trying to figure out Adron B Meterman. Adron. Because the last pun name we had was Written Many Memo, which is just written Many Memo. Adron B Meterman. Fuck, I'm trying to fix his name here now so I actually can make a pun out of it. But I can't. It doesn't work for me. Yo, hi Turtle Girl. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you managed to see this guy's name, but do you have a pun for it? Because I have no fucking clue. Also, where is he? There he is. Adron B. Meterman. I'm pretty certain... Yeah, he hasn't told us what he actually works for. But it's a young man that works for the Altmont Gas. So I did believe he was a gas person. He was a gassy person. Because he literally called Meterman. But Adron B. Meterman. Ronbe. Ronbe? A Dronbe. A Dronbe Meterman. I have no idea. I'm trying so hard. I'm pretty certain I will just fail. I work for the Altamont Gas Company. East End branch office. Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh, yes. Yeah, I just discussed that this guy kinda resembles Popeye. Which for us in Sweden is called Carl Alfred. Also, is he gonna do that weird head movement? Yeah, I have no idea. I only know of Meterman. Because if he's literally... Drumby. Yeah, but I have no idea. I know Meterman, which got me to think about, like, gas meters. Also, I'm pretty certain Suseki-san almost gassed himself. Because he says sometimes he has the bad... got these bad dreams wherever he feels like he's being suffocated. And I am pretty certain that the bloody gas is going on or something. Because there was a night, actually, when he actually did get those dreams. And he turned on a fire. But in the middle of the night, the fire was, well, burnt out. Either because the gas meter was unpaid, or, well, the fire just got unlit and the gas was just leaking everywhere. So I'm pretty certain that Suseki almost gassed himself, to be honest. Oh, I think it's actually gonna do the head movement. So fucking weird. Also, his chin must be nothing but fat. Because he can do this and the chin is just shaking like a jello. He must be trying to check the gas meters. How you now do that with a bricked up window, I have no idea.
So, Mr. William Shakespeare, are you the victim in this miserable affair, correct?
Oh heaven, oh heaven, oh hell. Do you command me to remember that sweet poison that did cross me and cross mine innocent lips? Oh Jesus, this is a word. I subopened him for the trial, with his doctor permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that's me, a seraph, an angel indeed. Whoa. Oh, your computer just died, what the hell? Literally like, boop, here I am. Yeah, I was mostly just talking about the guy who I said looked like Popeye, you know, the meter guy, and how much fat he has on his chin. Mostly because when he does this, it literally shakes like yellow. I'm pretty certain it's not much chin, but just fat or something. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature and virile, honest of a heart, as all heavenly angels be. Jesus. Oh yeah, so you were not here that time. Apparently he wasn't dead, he was almost dead because he woke up standing, started to rabble some weird ass word, and then just fucking collapsed on the floor. I'm not joking, it literally just collapsed on the spot. We all thought he was dead, but apparently we just rose. It was kind of fun because I literally was reading what I was saying, and I just noticed like the fork in his hand just dropped. I'm like, why the fuck did you just drop the fork? And then I realized the goddamn guy was just like opening up there. He wasn't eating soap, he was drinking tea. The other soap half was apparently on the floor. We managed to find and hold on. So apparently, I don't know how long you were here or were not, but he has some loose bricks by his window, and outside of those bricks are more bars of soap. So we managed to take one of those, and apparently we have... Wait, did we take that thing out? This bar of soap. Where did I first found it? I could have sworn there was some sort of round disc in there. Yeah, it was! I don't know. Yeah, I saw that part where they found it. So apparently it wasn't eating soap, but also there was something here. There was something orange. But now the impression is completely empty. What the fuck? Wait, was it something that literally melted? There was something there before. Wait, what? I was literally just about to show like there's something stuck in the bar of soap. I just turned around like, hold on, it wasn't this color before. Like, what the fuck? Okay. You seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. So all of these are the same like the day before when the woman was stabbed in the back. Yeah, he was poisoned. Apparently, he was poisoned by strychnine. I have no idea how to pronounce that. So apparently, it causes a lot of weird things, and in the end, it causes asphyxiation. Apparently, he got poisoned around 1:30 because the pocket watch was broken when the man collapsed. And apparently, Soseki says that he left the place around 11 p.m. Yeah, probably. Like, that's my thought as well. Like, that orange disc is either poison or something else. But that's the weird part, though, because if it is poison, how could it get ingested? Because you don't ingest soap. And sure, if he actually would clean his cup with it, then sure, but what? Why cut it in half and all that? And that's why you don't have an actor in a goddamn courtroom.
Thank you, witness, for your illuminating introductions.
But, my lord, what's the man next to Shamspears doing here? The gas man, I mean.
What, me? Well now.
Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm trying to like figure out how it got there, because what I understand, whatever that disc was, it might have been something that was frozen. Either that, or we have dropped something important somewhere where I don't know where it is. But if it was something that was like cold liquid, then it might just like when he did something with the cup, it might have just got transferred there or something. But also, I did find something interesting as well, because this is a crime scene photo. And we see everything here, except that there is a bar of soap behind here. There is a half of soap here. But I also see there is this big thing here. It's like something has been leaking. When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question,
And moreover, the victim was a compulsive liar. What? No, I didn't quite say that. This John Chinstroker here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman? Hang on, no. I'm just here. I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell me the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question.
Oh, may smile and... One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of what wintry night of my discontent. I get the feeling he doesn't even know why he is there. Also, I really don't like this guy. It's like he's not dressed like the last person we met. The last game. The Egbert person. I completely forgot his real name. Because he was just dressed finely because he didn't want to live in Portland anymore. But this guy's just dressed like a weirdo as hell, to be honest. Because he's just a poet. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna dress like a goddamn poet. Like, okay. The snow may lay about. My neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But marry, bitter was his drink. And when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. It was the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, nothing else. I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. No one else visits his room but that short little round-backed Eastern fella. It's kind of fun. How could you do that? Because they're like literally is bricked. Because technically no one knows that the place is not bricked. That the place is not bricked there. Like that there is a hole there. Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mrs. Shakespeare's room all night? That's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? There's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. I spent the night trying to keep an eye, keep my teeth from chattering as I peered through that. The question is, sir, why? Well now, that's because he's on my list. What a piece of work is a man. Wherefore wilt thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? Well, this busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words. What do you say about me? I get the feeling that whatever the bloody Shakespeare fella is, he is the one that just hogs the goddamn spotlight. Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Indeed, that is so. And as the testimony we just heard clearly revealed, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime. So only that lady's new, because I'm pretty certain the other lady is still collapsed from like being shocked by throwing a knife in someone's back. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony for the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Okay, let's see if I can do something here with this absolutely buggered fella. Ugh, I don't like this guy at all. It's like it doesn't understand what has tried to do, what has happened to him. Like, let's easily say like this guy is innocent, but he was almost murdered. It's like he doesn't give a shit. It's like, oh look, so many people. I can finally be a fucking, I don't know, turnabout or something. Like, you see what I mean? It doesn't give a shit. It's just like, ooh, I have a lot of eyes on me, and this is gonna be my best acting ever. Like, you're not here to fucking act, mate. Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance thou wouldst that call him the man from upstairs. And at what time did the mustached Nipponese visit you in your room? Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea.
Details in which accurate with the defendant's own testimony, yes.
I'm pretty certain he knows what happened to him, because he did say before in a weird-ass manner that, oh my, I'm the one that has been horribly tried to be poisoned. And here I stand as an angel in the court and like, yeah, do you understand my point? He knows what has been happening to him, but he cares more about his acting career right now than what actually happened to him. He knows exactly what happened to him. He literally wrote it as well on a paper that the Japanese fella was trying to poison him. Exactly, he's not taking anything seriously right now. You should more or less hear it in the way he speaks right now. However brawled in such a literal debate, as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means the discussion about who was stronger, Romeo or Juliet. So apparently he was dressed as Romeo and the Japanese fellow was dressed as Juliet. And they spared it out. Or whatever you could call it. I have no idea why they did that, but sure. I, Shakespeare, did play the part of a young Romeo. Apparently, in real life, Shakespeare has the name personality type as... Wait, hold on, what? Apparently, in real life, Shakespeare has the same personality type as me according to a... according to a quiz. Oh, good God. Well, that was some sort of odd quiz. But it's nothing... Yeah, I don't think this guy is much of a Shakespeare. He's more or less like a... I want to be a Shakespeare actor. Like, I want to be remembered of our lifetime as the best possible person ever. I, Shakespeare, did play the part of a young Romeo. Wallace, my neighbor, played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment.
I dare not imagining the scene.
Neither do I. Frailty, the name is woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of Jiu-Jitsu, but neither did I dream though be skilled practiced by the comely maiden. Juliet beat up Romeo. This is not going to help our case. I would like to see that happen. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room. My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly, I will do thy bidding. I really hope this guy is the one that poisoned himself. Because I feel this. I feel like this guy takes every role, every acting so seriously, that when he lost as Romeo against Juliet, that somehow he literally just freaked out and like, yeah, I am not gonna have this. Because if that is so, I want this guy to freak out so much he's not capable of actually acting anymore. I would just want to see that. Let me stop you there. Miss Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amount to be more than 3 hours of missing time. I really hate this guy. I seriously hate this guy. I loathe him. Oh, yeah, Dancy Dance. Like he doesn't have a care in the world. If the defendant had really put the poison in your teeth, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Oh, shit. Gladly, this is an easy task. What? I just realized. I did drink the tea, not while my guest did tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith was, 'twas stone cold. But at 1 hour post midnight, very my lips parched. Objection. Oh my god. Also, that's actually kind of bad because I am pretty certain that they're right. Because I just realized this. The discussion about the cups. Because this cup is clean, which means someone was drinking something very fast. But this one has an edge, which means that whatever was in here has been here for a long time. Probably 2 to 3 hours. Also, I pressed the wrong button. So, now when they say that, I just realized that they might actually have a... They might actually be like that. That doesn't sound normal. Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire. After all, thou would recall our fierce debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea. Mr. Shamsphere, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with an intention of naming your attacker? But of course, my liege. 'Twas the stoop lower of words did attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil. I do love though that they showed up, these two guys, in the last game. But not like big enough, only like just we met them in front of the house and then they just left. And we see them in this game instead. So you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner? Supper? Ah, fine luxury, fine gluttony. To eat thrice a day is but a waste of time. It's a but a waste of waste, I would say. Like, your waste will be wasted. I would, that my bell... What the fuck are you doing? Are you imagining yourself as a little boy in the grassy field amongst flowers or something? Okay, I cannot stare at that anymore. No more, no off than the sun that rise. Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say. Most deadly habits, I would say. Night and day, do I fill my hours with learned study of the great bard and the playwright. Hence is that there doth not in my chamber be than the costume of mine art. That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's frolicking around in the grass. As a young petite boy. Oh my god. Now I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere. For I have devoured them all. You fucking hell. Angry words would be written within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise? Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Wait, did he say he did not eat the paper? He just consumed the knowledge and didn't need to write it down. Okay, which? Fine.
Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea. Well, at least we can talk to this guy who seems more normal than the other one. But the window of that house has all been filled in.
A historical artifact of the now defunct window tax.
Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happened, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom of the corner that been opened up. I was looking in through that gap.
Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there?
And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well. I like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on a freezing cold night. Yeah, like if you would poke your chin in other people's business, they would bloody notice that. That's massive. It's bigger than your forehead. But they're my orders, so that's what we keep doing. As long as there's breath in my body. Out of interest, Mr. Meatma, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all? No, he never left. He was in that room the whole time as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. I can be so sure of that. The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle of the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempt of suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the them and their words. Oh yes, loosely explained, counsel. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I understand what he was talking about. Just that fucking word, though.
Hold it!
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella. You can't be sure it was the defendant then.
Objection!
How many other short little round-backed Nipponese with mustache do you think there are in London? Well, of course, it's only a narrow gap and it's quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. They showed up around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself. And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shakespeare drink tea together? Ah, sorry. I couldn't say. Why not? Because I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? What I did see was a silhouette of the little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. And a pair of them started some kind of wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it. Neither would I. Like, what the fuck?
I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway.
Mr. Meaterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the room on the night in question? Do you see what I mean? His chin is like jiggling around like jello. I'm pretty sure there's nothing but fat in there. No question. Gasman's honor. Oop. Who's calling hold it? Oh shit. My lord! Oh, goodness me, yes, Foreman. I've been keeping my mouth shut and listen up to now, but this has gone long enough. Are you all with me? Oh shit. Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury
are in agreement with one another. That you reach an unanimous decision. To your right we have... Are you all with me? I'm trying to remember his voice. Wait, no, the defense is still in the middle of a cross-examination. To be honest, I was holding up out a bit of hope for you, young man. I'm trying to remember. Especially after you identify those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room. Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. But in the end, what difference does that they make? None, as far as I can see. And since that now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our discussion any longer. Like I always say before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me, the missus will be blown her top. What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that, what you said. I do love that even he is voting against our friend, but he doesn't hear shit what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Well, that's bad. Yep, all of them. Well, what happened at the jury is indeed unanimous. Oh, goodness gracious. So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This call for a toast, I feel. The guilty being punished. Like, that's the funny part, because this guy is a person that really wants the truth to come out in a way, because it's like, whenever we had the disc in the last game, he was literally putting it out there, even though people said no. So this guy really wants, like, the guilty to be found guilty and stuff like that. But sometimes I just feel like he gets the easy part, because he only needs to make sure people is voting against someone by just playing around with words. And then it's just like, I won. But, like, that's just, like, not true really as well. Yeah, we know about this. We know about this. I can skip this because this is literally just like the sort of this is more or less talking about the summation examination. To put it simply, because this is just the second story of this game, they more or less cause it to be a little tutorial. Also, do love the mouse on his shoulder. I absolutely love it. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. I do love he says that, but we have won against him so many times now, and it's just like, he is the one that has to admit defeat, but he never does that anyway. Certainly no other defense counselor in the recent time has exercised the right to a summation examination. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Like you altered their mind as well. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord,
We know all about this young lad's tenacity. Tenacity. Jesus, me and reading sometimes. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you found the defendant guilty of the crime of which he stands accused.
How fun it would be if I actually managed to get them all to not guilty here and literally just win. I do wonder what the prosecutor would do then.
The victim may not have been well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Just looked at accused by comparison. Japanese dupes all the while. And has a mustache, very fishy. Well, you're too young to have a bloody mustache, mate. There is no evidence to suggesting the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least. Venus! Hi! Fuck my voice. Hi, welcome! I have my chat over there, so I just saw something pop up and was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Hi, welcome! How was the stream? I'm pretty certain the stream was still Minecraft. Hi! Hold on, I have to do this. Whoops, whoa, what did I do? What the fuck happened? Oh. I think I managed to reset my chat somehow. I can still see the chat, but I think I resetted it. There we go. We have to do this, of course. Why can't... Hello? Oh, there we go. I don't know why, but it took a time for me to actually do that. Yeah, you were playing Minecraft. I hope it went well. I did watch some of it before. Just before I had to go and do this.
Oh, I really don't care, like, I just need this trial to end quickly.
So yeah, I'm mostly just doing voices for 3 hours in this game. But yeah, I hope you're alright, and I do hope you had fun playing Minecraft with Neon. Wait, hold on, what was this guy's voice? Fuck, I kind of forgot.
3 hours of missing...
I forgot this guy's voice. I don't remember.
3 hours of missing time. It's nothing where you reach my age, you know? Nothing at all.
I completely blacked out from his voice. You made me black out from his voice here. I completely forgot what it was. It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shakespeare is a fine, upstanding, honest citizen. If you ask me, they all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. Yeah, this guy is literally just some sort of Shakespeare fanboy, to be honest. Not joking, because there is a Shakespeare in this game. Sometimes people does have pun names. This guy have a pun name, but Shakespeare is still a part of this world. I'm gonna see if I can show a picture of this guy, because he is absolutely ridiculous. There we have him. That is how he's dressed in main day. In the middle of a walk, in the middle of breakfast, grocery shopping, he looks like this. And that's just his hat and his collar. What is the... Why did they have collars like that? Like, why? It's so ugly. Before we begin, I'm gonna be honest, I have only watched three episodes of JoJo, because I might try and watch that a bit more another time, but I think you actually might be right, because perhaps actually. And also, welcome. Hold on. Saidalus. Okay, Jesus, I had to read that. Sometimes my reading is so not good. Might be an idea for me, remind. Yeah, It's just me. Like, I'm not fully English. I am half British, half Swedish, but I've lived in Sweden for my whole life. Oh, and thank you for following as well. $5. Jesus, I really have to try and remember now how to pronounce that. Oh, good God. I wonder if I should let her take... Nah, we don't need to. We don't need to. I know how this works. So this is the second game in the series. I have played the first one. This is more or less a spin-off series of just Ace Attorney. And we managed to do the last one... I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I believe. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. Okay, the key to this is really listening carefully. Yeah, I know about that. So I literally just have to make the jurors fight each other.
Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination.
Okay, let's do this. So they literally just... Oh yeah, now you can see all of his attire. Like, I don't like that person. Mostly because he doesn't take anything in here seriously. He is, like, acting all the time. Okay, so the victim may not be well off, but is a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man, okay? So I don't do voices for recaps, and this is a recap. They're saying the same thing over and over again here, as they said before. Good gentleman, there's no reason to lie. In fact, I think it's rather splendid. Okay. This looked like cues by comparison. His Japanese stoops all the while, and he has a mustache. Very fishy. Yeah, I'm just looking at my camera, at my mustache, and like, mate, thank you. Well, for the... Yeah, she is at least right. There is no evidence for now, at least. She might be able to be pursued. Hmm. 3 hours missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know, nothing at all. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna save because I don't trust myself, and I am gonna actually do the bearded man, one of the bearded men, and the young man, whatever, because I really think there's something to do with mustache. It's still a more or less a mustache, even if it connects with the beard, I would say. Yeah, we know about that. Don't worry, I'm gonna find it. I am absolutely gonna find it. Because these two has nothing really I feel I can use. It's like he's not rich, which literally there is... he doesn't have much money at all. But he says he's a noble man straight up. So, okay, there's no doubt for the man. Do declare the gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think it's rather splendid. So, literally just because of how he looks and stuff like that. Wait, I can actually press them. I should press them. I should actually press them. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars?
I have no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example.
Absolutely not. Miss Natsume is not a liar.
Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. When I take the gas man's testimony into account, well, the truth couldn't be any clearer.
Yeah, because apparently the gas man was staring outside the window. I actually did, like... We discussed that in the first game, but I never knew there was actually a window tax in Britain. Because the windows on the lower floor of that house is literally bricked up. But apparently managed to actually look through a little gap.
I'm sure my fellow gentlemen of the jury would do the same. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, perhaps. Though I don't see it happening.
What was that? A gent on the end here, you know? You have to speak up. Look, I really don't care all about this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over.
So that's just a normal laboring guy. He just wants the money, get home to his wife, and make sure she doesn't get pissed off. We have seen him before, because this is a... more or less like a memory of a trial that happened after a trial in the first game. And he was there as well. Alright, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said. Okay. If you can show me that the victim is a liar. Okay, so it's changed now. That's good. I should press now. Are you saying you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? No, that's not what I said. The point is the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. So you say, yet again. Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously. It's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. Yeah, he's a nerve wreck. He believes he's cursed. Followed by angry spirit and ghosts. Look. Just look at the... Oh, right, we already read this. Why did I do the voice for this guy? No. Not one of those things is a reason to find a man guilty. But it is fishy. There's no point in dancing around the fact. He's Japanese. He has a mustache and he stoops. You see, you arrived at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps, like a waltz, in fact. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance. I'm pretty certain we have heard a comment like that in one of the other games, actually. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. But the victim's version of the events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him says, isn't it? Yeah, the gas man that kind of looks like Popeye. Hold on. I'm trying to go to court record. There he is. Adron B. Meterman. I'm pretty certain his name is a pun, because he's a gas man. He's looking at the gas meters, so Meterman. But I have no idea about the Adron B. I'm trying to figure out the pun in that. I have not yet. As I know there are puns in this game, because we did have a journalist called Written Many Memo, which is just a pun of written many memos. Well, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man. Did you try to make 3 steps out of 2 steps? That's another 3 step. Oh my god. You're saying 3 steps. So, 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else there. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Are you dancing with 2 left feet or something? What? Right. And the prosecution will waltz in way to victory if I let you speak much more. That wasn't even 3 steps, it was 2 steps. Yeah, we don't have that. We have 1 bar of soap that was outside the window of the victim. It had something orange on it before, but I think it either dropped out or it had melt, because I checked it again now in court and... well, it's gone now. So, probably. I have no idea. I'm gonna press her anyway. I don't have any evidence, but let's press it. A fraudsman. What do you mean by that, madam? It really is most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can absolutely be certain that a customer is stealing from us. But without hard evidence, we can't even threaten to take actions for fear of being sued. I'm sorry, you lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm a bit uncertain myself. I'm the wife of August Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company. Okay. So you're the guy's chief's wife. Okay. It's kind of like the other first one we had in the first game, where we had the carriage driver and the carriage guild owner.
Good gracious. Altamont Gas, you say?
Gas is the future energy in this country and around the globe. The proper handling is essential. Yeah, I know, because our Japanese friend over there probably almost gassed himself one night. As I'm sure of, our employee from East End branch office would be the first to agree. Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Gotta be used properly. Altman Gas is the best in the world, of course. Yeah, it literally looks a bit like Popeye in a way. Just because of the chin and the nose. I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Miss Naruto. Right, he bowed in defense to his employer's wife, did he? So would it be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meaterman was watching what Mr. Shakespeare was up to in his room? I'm afraid there is no end to length the population of East End will go to in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudsman. But to be dispatched a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations. So, you mean Mr. Shakespeare is... I wouldn't come out to say this in public. But you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief. Jesus, she had that somewhere. You haven't noticed the public gallery in here, have you? Aye, the eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith would thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin. But seraphs hear no insults, only chorus of angels in song. Yeah, that's how the guy always is, and I am so annoyed by that. And then, when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an ultimate gas explosion. Jesus. Please don't. So, Mr. Shakespeare has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement. My pleasure. Was it a bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed? I'm gonna be honest, I actually can't enjoy it right now. Also, I've just realized you kinda dressed in the colors of a bee. Mostly because of the umbrella there. I just realized that. A little before the part about abject violence, if not too much trouble. Of course. Okay. So this might shift the balance. Ooh, wait, hold on. I am gonna pit this.
Objection.
Oh, I think I got it because the music stopped. I play these games so much, I more or less understand some of the mechanics, which is ridiculous. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious. To whose statement do you refer, counsel?
Juror number 1.
What are you yelling about, lad?
I presume you heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas.
Well, yes.
The victim you claim to be a noble, straight-up man. In fact, turns out to be a common thief.
The good old lady says, but there is no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much.
It is true, we don't have evidence as much. Just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know?
What?
You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised, I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there.
I'll do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman Sana. Oh, just gonna stretch a bit. Ah.
Juror number 1. You say you're a man of your word. Yeah, and it says he's a man of your word if the guy is a liar, he's considered doing not guilty. If I could show that that Mr. Shakespeare was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt.
Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I'll hold it. As I am the other gentleman of the jury will.
Eh? Well, yes. And if we found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further.
Well, I am perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've been saying. So if this means you'll recap a few points, that would suit me down to the ground.
Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial to be over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. Did we just manage to actually...
We have the jury demands to know exactly what kind of man you really are.
I do wonder now. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. 4 for head. Yes, Miss Naruto. Victory.
Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say.
Also, I realized something. We did find soap outside of his window, which was this one. And there was a bar of soap here on the table over here. So, is it wrong to me to say that he steals gas and sells it on? Because this had something on it before, but it's gone now. And if that was gas somehow, that would more or less explain it. Also, that's a very small amount of gas. That could be something.
As a result of the defense summation examination, the jury's leaning has changed. And now only 2 jurors say guilty, while his 4 says not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord. And order the trial to continue.
Are you gonna throw your chalice again? Oh yeah. I did. How many do you have? Like, seriously? Does all of that money just go to chalices? And boots? And wine? Because sometimes you actually throw the bottle as well. You have spoiled the bouquet of Mr. Shakespeare. Wait, the bouquet. Apparently I forgot the dots. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. Like, you're literally just playing monkey here. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most. Not but gas, not but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, when it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. Why, what do you say?
Do I take it, Mr. Shakespeare, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery?
Most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgotten? I am a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart.
You flowery-mouthed pompous Banepole. Just because I haven't got the evidence yet.
Mr. Shakespeare, if in fact you're not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony would have no sway in this courtroom. I do not like him at all.
It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All the testimonies heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case.
Oh no.
However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be appropriate for this court to not pursue the point further.
Objection.
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. You're number 4. Yes. Did you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? Absolutely, my Lady Quinby. Gasman's honor.
Very well, then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, has been stealing gas.
Yes, my lord. It'll be my pleasure. If I may, my lord.
Go ahead, madam.
This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request.
Thank you, my lord. Wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting you. You mark my words. Wait, what? What? Wait till the boss gives you an earful. Or it's gonna sting you. You mark my words.
So you will both be testify before the court on the subject of illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel.
Yes. Is that clear, my good man?
Clear as Altamont Gas, my lady, which is the clearest in the world.
Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm pretty certain that it has something to do with the soap. I'm trying to figure out how and why. Is that why it goes out late at night and comes back? And that's why there is a soap on the table? Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Mrs. Sato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Miss Naruto. Well, here we have the queen bee and the little worker. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altman gas meters accept the Trump penny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, then what is? Huh. Well, he did say it was dark in there. pray, forgiveness, the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice.
What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Six?
Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an act, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. And there goes another one. I am very curious to know how much one of those glasses would cost. And then to count out how many times he's done this in these games to realize how much money he has. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern island nation is more than a geographical distance. But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. And there goes the wine. I did say that both the chalice and the wine would go before, and it did. Do what you will. Lord Van Six appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. Like always, he's a vampire. He's a bit bloodthirsty. Okay, so we're gonna check the cross-examination here. Let's go! Like, even that outfit feels like it's coming from somewhere. Okay, so let's just press on them a bit here.
Hold it!
So, does that mean that you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? That... Ah, no problem, Turtle Girl. It's nice to have you people here. But yeah, if you need to go, you need to go. Have a good evening, Turtle Girl, and hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. On Thursday I will have a new game, which I am trying to find the name of, because I did actually just download it. Hold on, I have the name here. Somewhere. We are gonna stream some Suicide of Rachel Foster, which is one of the more or less narrative mystery games, where you just walk around and investigate what's going on. I watched some of the gameplay. It looked kind of interesting. For some reason, I really do enjoy games like that. But yeah, that will be the new Thursday game. I don't know why it sounded so wrong for me. That I do. I have to try to catch people when they are in. Then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you have been into Mr. Natsume's room before? As well as that of Miss Champspears? Well now, interesting you should bring that up. Because I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survived winter is beyond me, really. It's really... Knowing Miss Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. And then when he finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth.
You will kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman.
Not much to say, really, but as you wish.
Hold it!
So all London houses have a gas supply or fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model. The height of technology developed by our company, Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3p coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins a night. I mean more than that usually. If they have both gas lights and gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Sekison doesn't have a fireplace in that room of his, does he? Some people choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. What the fuck is going on? I don't know if you saw that glitch. Ooh. Sorry, I was looking for some like glitches on my screen. What the fuck happened there? Did you see something? It was around like the speech bubble. The thing is that sometimes my screen actually turns itself off. It might be old and probably just like for some reasons takes energy like hell. I really need to get a new screen someday. But that might be it. Just sensed something. I was like, oh, something's going on. Ah, yes. I do remember seeing candle in Mr. Natsume's room, actually. Trust me, a candle would do absolutely great in here. It's warm as hell, and it's probably just coming from my computer. Is it actually... It's not that warm. There are actually some games sometimes where it starts to cosplay of a bloody dragon. And how does the money in the meters get back to you at the gas company? Every 3 days, a gasman like me visits properties on the gas supply and empty the meters of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it put a stop to people not paying their dues, for the most part. Because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks! It's been pinching gas off us for ages.
And you've examined the meter in Mrs. Shamspeare's room, I take it?
Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over with it a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Oh, so what time is it? Just checking. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shakespeare Special. Jesus. They really don't like this guy. Like, they supply London with gas. Probably all England with gas. Or Britain with gas, to be honest. And they literally are pointing at this guy. Ooh. But even after all that, the rascal meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation. And I opened the money box and found it bare. You what? I said, you what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of being jammed open anywhere. Not a single sign. All happening to my salary as a result, down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation. In a number of ways. Also, if you're wondering about the thing he does with his arm, it's because of his normal non-costume thing. Nothing became of it, we still got it. I've still got it. Oh? Right here. No wonder they call you Meter Man.
I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing.
Woo! I got a gas meter. Oh, hold on. I see something already. I see something... sorry. Green and gooey. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the content of that meter. Oof. Okay. That's interesting, because I did see something here. You see that smudge over there? That's a very sturdy looking padlock, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax too. Beeswax too. It's beeswax! Oh! So if Mrs. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Hood, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mrs. Sholmes would... You know you didn't finish that sentence, do you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that a gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightful theirs. But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Okay, so it's beeswax. So, like, if the guy would be able to break out up the lock, he would probably be capable of fixing the beeswax. Oh, hello. The oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Miss Naruto? Just here, there's a little hole. Do you see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. It's a very neat hole, isn't it? It's not professional made, I say. So you think it might have been opened by Mr. Shakespeare? Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin would fit through there. That's true, but even so, this is more than a little suspicious. Yeah, so it has been tampered with, actually. But they didn't check that area. Okay, so we can actually present this now.
Objection.
Because it has actually been tampered with. So that's good. Well, that's bad, but that's good for us. Lily Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of being tampered with. What? Get away. I've been over and over that thing. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Oh? What? You're right. You're quite right. There's a little hole there. The meters are supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shakespeare secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes. We wouldn't be all surprised, but why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You're gonna get a farthing through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sort of detail? Well, what I specifically like to know is how it's dismantled. How it differentiate coins. I'm gonna try that. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put a 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work, presumably, wouldn't it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin has been fed with a... Oh, I choose the wrong thing. Sorry. I see where you're getting at now. The meter tells the coin apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information, in case it is pertinent. Yeah, because technically I don't need to know about the dismantling, right?
Hold it!
I'm gonna press that anyway. But convincingly then, it would seem that anything matching a 3-pence coin exactly in terms of the diameter and thickness could equally well be used. Would that be true? Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into to a certain extent as well. We thought of that thought. Anyway, if I find any fake coins inside the coin box when I empty the meter, the contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they diddle as a fine. I just realized his bag is also they're literally just bees. And now I need to check his name here. Fuck off. I just realized his name now. A drone bee meter man. Queen bee Altamont. It's a fucking drone bee. That's the pun of his name. Just because I saw his fucking bag. Oh my god.
I would see the gas company has thought of everything.
I'm gonna check the other thing actually. That's quite enough of that. Remind me, how big are Trumpany bits? What do you think, Manarudo? Is this 2 centimeters measurement significant? There is a red medallion. So there was a medallion in here, it was not gas, okay. Yes. You may be right. Perhaps you should do a different track here. Yeah, delve deeper. How can the meter be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes. Given that there are no signs of having it been forced, I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart. Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by 5 padlocks. Oh god. Yeah, it's around like... It's around 8, so that's more like... Around 5, my head starts to not being able to do work. And later than that, I'm just starting to slowly get tired. So yeah, it's around 8, so if you're wondering why I'm tired, that's why. The padlocks are made by fine-class locksmith from the finest quality steel. And the meter's box himself is made from plate steel as well, welded shut to ensure it cannot be opened again. I can assure you, it's quite impossible to dismantle it. I see. Okay, so does that mean it will be exchanged?
Hold it!
Has anyone ever tried? Yeah, I tried, but they've all given up before long. Oh, that was a nasty burp. After all, they actually broke the meter. The company would be able to take legal actions. Yes, that makes sense. Nah, we're gonna go back to the other thing. Because I think the medallion is in the whole soap thing. So this we have seen before. We're just gonna go past here. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this because, as I said, a cheap bar of soap that was discovered just outside Mr. Shakespeare's window. The little reddish medallion from the center has mysteriously vanished.
Objection!
Oh, piss. Okay, nah. It was a good try. It was a good try. I'm trying to find something that's like big enough and stuff like that. So like the medallion from my thought was good enough. Did we like lose it somewhere by the other things we have? I'm gonna check. Nope, that's just a name tag. That's just an emblem. Just gonna check because we have lost it somewhere. Nothing inside here. So we managed to lose something, but I don't know where or what. Because there used to be something here. Okay, so I had to actually check this again. Because now we know how big they are. Okay. Okay, there we go. Whoops, I'm pressing the wrong buttons.
Objection.
I just need to do that. So I wasn't as far stupid as I was. I was just not knowing everything. Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter of thickness, the problem is I cannot fully say this because we call it diameter. So I want to say diameter but it's like the way I pronounce it causes me to not being able to pronounce it in English. Diameter. I have no idea. And thickness were to be correct. The meter would accept any object as if it were a true penny bit. Is that correct? On the floor, is that melted soap? Yes, that is correct. Or something else? Because what if the soap he has is a mold? Reddish medallion. Did he use the fucking tea to make... I think I know what he did. It was a reddish medallion that has apparently vanished. I'm pretty certain he poured his tea into the goddamn soap to then make a medallion so he could pay for his gas. And that's why, by the way, we see this stain over here, because this is a tea stain. That's why there is a small hole, because it takes liquid, freezes it inside the soap, and then uses it as a coin. And then when it's melting, so no one is gonna suspect anything, he has made a small hole underneath, so it can just pour out. Oh my god. I think I solved it. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating Miss Shampspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size of a threepenny bit. What was it? The item in question is this. Having inhaling gas. That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. Yeah, not that. It is here. You have to turn over the soap to see what it means. Ah! Are you referring to that round the depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right. Depression that makes approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, it's almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away!
Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen.
It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Yeah, a bit. The judge is about to take all our money and our underwear.
Thank you, kind.
Yeah, so that is a threepenny bit, but that means that whatever we saw that was reddish, it must have been tea. He just took the tea like, oh, nice, a free gas money.
Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit.
Like, now I'm so curious to get myself one of those, like, bubblegum automats that takes a coin and actually do something like this and see if it works. Because what if you just have like an ice bit for a bubble coin machine and just like press it in and just do that? I don't think it would work, but I'm so curious now if it would. Just as like an experiment, not like go around into some store and do it. That's why I say buy myself one, so I can try here without doing it illegally. Or ask someone professionally, so that if they actually would need to put it in again, we could just see if it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I do wonder if I ever actually tried that before.
My word, it couldn't be more snug.
Yes, as I suspected. This without a doubt is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont gas company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has the tentative connection to the thief of gas? Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a turnpenny bit.
I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replacing the coin's shape.
And they could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You'll make a fake coin in no time. And now he wants proof of it. I am pretty certain he wants proof of it. And I have the picture. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method of Mr. Shamspeare has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now if I follow the chain I thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation of what happened that nobody considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter.
Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic, could make them disappear.
I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coin to disappear into thin air, yes? Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magic method used visible on the gas meter, taken from the victim's room.
If that is your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify these remarks for the court at once.
Yeah, it's the little hole. It's easy. Hold on. It's easy. It's there.
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside. Where yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap.
Ah, I get it.
That's right. The answer, of course, is ice.
Did you say ice?
Mr. Shamspeare has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coin of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter coin box melts, turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small holes made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. Let me guess, he's just gonna say, what was your proof? I have proof, don't worry. Just like that, so simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's befooling us with some bars of soap and some water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop the new meter? Now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless. I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence? Yeah, don't worry. I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me homemeade or rubbish, I want to see proof. Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna find it. We have the evidence, don't worry about that. Miss Naruto, are you saying you actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little time back. And I have a feeling that this theory we come up with now we could explain it. Yeah, I know about that. Don't worry, it is here.
Take that!
This photograph of the scene of at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnant of the crime carried out by Mr. Shakespeare. What remnant? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Now look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain. Almost certainly it's a water stain resulting from the liquid. Oh, almost certainly it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out the hole made in the meter. If one gives around 2 hours of gas usage and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence too. Mr. Shakespeare is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. I have no idea how to pronounce that. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. You're right.
It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he?
Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat about the bush here, did he? In truth, Mr. Shakespeare was found with a fork in his hand.
A meal of soap is...
Do you mean to say he was using that fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well.
good gracious.
So that's why there was two halves of a soap. And there goes another bottle of wine. Jesus. Lord Van Six? I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake.
What is the meaning of this, Counsel?
Allow me to pose my learned friends a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well... That Mr. William Shakespeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it. That's exactly it. Very well. Let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard investigation reveals no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there was no visitor in the room except the accused.
The young gasman's testimony, which has been no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison would have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is a liar you claim him to be, these facts has been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. What? You?
Yeah, but we know he used the tea now for that because we had a reddish one.
Order! Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Naruto? What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did they actually get us anywhere? Or did they make it no difference at all? Raise an objection. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest.
What? But counsel, you successfully explained everything. You identified and sustained the unscrupulously method employed by Mr. Shakespeare's consumed gas. What more is there to discuss?
Lord Van Six just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all.
What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend?
At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to lack of evidence. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand.
Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense?
Yes, when you bring everything you will learn so far together and consider it as a whole is clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely... was the poison ever in the tea? We have all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. But that's just conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There is no other possibility. And since there is no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison.
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it.
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively.
I'm a bit uncertain what's proof, but I want to use my bar of soap. Because that's where we saw a reddish medallion in it. Which causes me to believe it is in one of the bar of soaps.
The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea?
I'm gonna try the soap.
Take that!
The soap again. The same bar the victim used to fashion his coin.
I was a bit uncertain because the music actually continues now, but it might be because this is a very tense moment and there's no need to change the music. Yes, that's right, my lord. It just came back to me. Something about when we found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. So, what are bars of soap? Yeah. I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, it was actually a frozen coin in each bar.
So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating.
In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins were found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice.
There was something strange about them, you mean?
Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red.
You mean...
That's right. It's obviously to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. I love this music though, especially the beginning with the organ. Love it. What? I would remind the court of the statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. That evening, yes, I did make some freshly brewed tea with me to Mrs. James's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought some bottled water especially to make it. And as a result, I will never touch tea again, never.
Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing.
So on the night in question, Mr. Shakespeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins.
My words.
Someone go and get the goddamn soap and test it for poison. There were 2 bars of soap in the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed 1 of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen soil in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shakespeare's window.
Extraordinary.
Earlier today, Inspector Grayson informed the court that even if 1 drop of tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contained strychnine at all. I cannot pronounce that at all. You smug Nipponese. My lord, we cannot do the defendant in the justice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bars of soap from the scene at once. And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Where does the poison come from then?
Byleaf, instruct the police to attend the scene at once.
Yes, my lord, understood.
It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Seeks.
None, my lord. I don't think he can have any.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out a requisite test immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigation as appropriate in the interim.
Yes, my lord. So it's not over, we're gonna find more evidence. That's gonna be interesting. Oh, it's actually almost good timing with that. I managed to scrape through here somehow.
Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow.
If this is to be continued soon, I will actually end it 5 minutes earlier. Ooh, what is going on with my thing here? Woo! What the fuck is happening? Oh, wait a second. Is it because of this fucking thing? I just saw that my fucking stream is going up and down here. What the fuck?